Okay, number 1. X plus 3y equals 1, and negative 3x minus 3y equals negative 15. Again, you can do this a number of ways. I'm going to start out by rewriting this equation. X plus 3y equals 1. And I'm going to get rid of the 3y by subtracting 3y from both sides. 3y minus 3y equals 1 minus 3y. Those two cancel, and now I know that x equals 1 minus 3y. So I'm going to take this second equation, negative 3x minus 3y equals negative 15, and instead of x, I'm going to write, what goes in there? 1 minus 3y. Minus 3y equals negative 15. Now we're going to solve for y. 3 times negative 1, that's the wrong color, 3 times negative 1, and 3 times negative 3y is what? Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3y is positive 9y. And then you subtract 3y from that, and that equals negative 15. Positive 9y and negative 3y. Remember, when you're looking at this equation, you're looking at positive 9y and negative 3y. You combine those and we get negative 3, and that's positive 6y. And then I think well, no, you're going to make a mistake here. When you add 3 to both sides, negative 3 plus 3 plus 6y, a lot of you still make this mistake. When you add 3y to both sides, these two cancel. And what is negative 15 plus 3? That's going to be negative 12. And then we're left with 6y equals negative 12, and so that way it's obvious that y is negative 2. And then once we know what y is, we can plug that back into one of these equations. X plus, well, let me do that in a different color. X plus 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, so that's x minus 6 equals 1, so it's obvious that x is what? X equals 7. So y equals negative 2 and x equals 7, which means our solution is 7, negative 2. And you can double check that, but I know it's right. I know it's right for that one. Negative 3 times 7 is negative 21. Minus 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Negative 21 plus 6 is negative 15. So we are correct. Okay, number 2. That should read negative 3x minus 8y equals 20. And so I'm going to rewrite this equation because it seems simpler. We already have a y by itself there. Why spend more time? So I'm going to add 5x to both sides. That's how I cancel out negative 5x. Plus 5x plus y equals 19 plus 5x. And then those two cancel, and I'm left with y equals 19 plus 5x. So I'm going to take this second equation, negative 3x minus 8 times, and what does y equal? 19 plus 5x equals, and that equals 20. And so now, negative 3x, and then we distribute negative 8 times 19. Negative 8 times 19. 8 times 19 is, so that's going to be negative 152. And then that's negative 8 times 5x. And that's going to be negative 40. And all of that equals 20. Now we're going to combine our like terms. Negative 3x and negative 40 is negative 43. Negative 43x minus 152 equals 20. Then we're going to add 152 to both sides. That's 43x equals, and that's going to be 172. Then we're going to divide 172 by 43. And that gives us, I'm sorry, negative 43 divided by negative 43 divided by negative 43. And that gives us an answer of x equals negative 4. And I know that this is correct. And so once we know that the x is negative 4, then we just plug that back into one of our equations. Negative 5 times negative 4 equals positive 20. And positive 20 plus some number equals 19. What would that number have to be? That would have to be negative 1. So positive 20 plus negative 1 equals 19. So we know that y equals negative 1. So you can write your answer like this, but I prefer, especially when you have x and y, for you to write it as a ordered pair. X equals negative 4 and y equals negative 1. That's your answer. Yay. Number 3, negative 3x plus 3y equals 3, and negative 5x plus y equals 13. Again, we have a y by itself, although, you know what? I'm going to do this a different way. I'm going to show you negative 3x plus 3y equals 3. And look how I'm going to simplify this. I'm going to get rid of a lot of multiplication. What can I do to both sides of this equation? Well, I can divide both sides by what? By 3. And see what happens there. What's 3 over 3? Well, that's just 1. What's negative 3 over 3? That's negative 1, which is just negative x. What is 3 over 3? That's 1, so that's just positive y. And so this whole equation reduces to negative x plus y equals 1. If I add x to both sides, negative x plus x plus y equals 1 plus y. Those cancel, and I'm left with the equation y equals 1 plus, I'm sorry, what did I do here? Plus x. Oops. Look at that. I'm not concentrating. Plus x. Those cancel, and now I'm left with the equation y equals 1 plus x. Now I can use my second equation and plug in for y. Negative 5x plus, and look at this, I'm using parentheses. Don't need to, but I'm still doing it because it saves me from making mistakes. And it saves you. I should say it saves you from making mistakes. Negative 5x, and then this is a positive 1, and you should know that the only time you really need to worry about the sign in front of a parentheses is when it's a negative. If it's a positive, then you're just going to rewrite whatever's here. So in this case, there's nothing to worry about, but still, it's good to be consistent. It's a good practice. So positive 1 times 1 is just positive 1. Positive 1 times positive x is just positive x. And that equals 13. Combine our like terms, negative 5 and positive x. Negative 5 plus 1 is what? Negative 6? Wrong. It's negative 4x. And then we still have our plus 1 here, equals 13. We're going to subtract 1 from both sides, and we're left with negative 4x equals 12. Divide both sides by negative 4, and we get x equals negative 3. And there's our answer right there, or at least part of it. Now that we know x is negative 3, we can plug that into one of our equations. So negative 5, here, different, negative 5 times negative 3 plus y equals 13. Negative 5 times negative 3, that's 15. And then we add what to 15 to make it 13? We got to add a negative 2. And that'll be 13. Now, I'm not solving these equations the way I should be. You should solve them, but it's fairly obvious. We can do simple arithmetic. Y is clearly negative 2. So y equals negative 2. And so our solution is going to be x equals negative 3, y equals negative 2. And there we go right there. Ta-da. number 4. Let's see now. What's going to happen with number 4? Okay, I'm going to take this second equation because I got a y all by itself. I'm going to add x to both sides, so I'm going to just skip a step here. Equals 3 plus x. I just took this this equation, I added x to both sides. Negative x plus x is 0, and then we're left with y equals 3 plus x. Yay. Y equals 3 plus x. All right, now I'm going to take this first equation, negative 3x plus 3 times, and inside the parentheses goes 3 plus x, and that equals 4. And now I'm going to distribute properly. I've got a positive 3, so I don't have to worry about much. 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times x is 3x. Ooh, wait a second. We've got a problem here. 3 times x is 3x, 3x. And that equals 4. Uh-oh. Well, this is odd. How can we have this? We got 9 equals, okay, well, hold on. Negative 3x and positive 3x is 0, and now we got 9 equals 4? Well, that doesn't make sense at all. Huh. Let's try a different route. Let's solve in terms of x. So we got negative x plus y equals 3. Subtract y from both sides, so we're left with negative x equals 3 minus y. And then multiply both sides by negative 1 times negative 1. And we get x equals negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. Negative 1 times negative y is positive y. So x equals negative 3 plus y. And because I need the space, well, I guess I'll use the space down here. I'm going to plug this into my first equation. So that's negative 3 times negative 3x plus y plus 3y equals 4. All right, that's a little better. Negative 3 times negative 3x is 9. Wait a second. I'm sorry, that's not... Oops. That's what I do for being careless. Negative 3 plus y equals plus 3y equals 4. Now, negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Negative 3 times y is negative 3y plus 3y equals 4. 9 equals 4. Wait a second. That's not true. What happens when we get an answer like this for an equation? Let's just take, we know that this is true. We know that x equals negative 3 plus y. We know that y equals 3 plus x, according to what I've taught you. Now, what does this mean? It doesn't seem like there's any solution to this. I know there's no solution here. The y's cancel. There's literally no solution. So what do we do? Well, the answer is no solution. But why is there no solution? Who can tell me? Well, there's only one instance where that's true. So we know that we rewrote this first equation so that it was y equals 3 plus x. Now I'm going to rewrite this second equation so that it is in slope-intercept form. So that's negative 3x plus 3y equals 4. And now I'm going to solve for y. So that's going to be 3y equals 3x plus 4. So I added 3x to both sides. And then I'm going to divide by 3. Divide both sides by 3. And I'm going to be left with y equals 3 over 3 is just x plus 4. So now I've got two equations. Y equals x plus 4. And this equation, y equals 3 plus x, which can be rewritten as y equals x plus 3. Now, these are not the same line, but they do have something in common. The coefficient of x, the slope here, is just 1, or 1 over 1. The slope here is 1, 1 over 1. So what do we know about these lines? They are parallel lines. Parallel. So when two lines are parallel, do they have an intersection? No. And I graphed this for you. Let's see if I can I do this? There we go. So here are the two lines graphed. I graphed the line negative x plus y equals 3 and negative 3x plus 3y equals 4, and then you can see clearly that they are parallel. Will they ever intersect? No. So there's no solution to those two lines. Moving on. All right, number 5. Brenda's school is selling tickets to a spring musical. On the first day of ticket sales, the school sold 3 senior citizen tickets and 9 child tickets for a total of $75. The school took in $67 on the second day by selling 8 senior citizen tickets and 5 child tickets. What is the price of each of one senior citizen ticket and 1 child ticket? That's not proper English, but it's also not my question. I just copied and pasted this. Got it from a worksheet. Anyway, let's come up with the equations. First, what variables are we using? We're using S for the number of senior citizen tickets and C for the number of child tickets. We sold 3 senior citizen tickets. I'm sorry, no. S for the price of a senior citizen ticket, and C for the price of a child ticket. So we sold 3 senior citizen tickets, so 3 times the price of a senior citizen ticket, and plus 9 child tickets, so 9 times the price of a child ticket, and that all cost $75. Yay. The school took in $67, so all of that cost $67. What cost $67? The second day there was 8 senior citizen tickets sold, so $8 times the amount of senior citizens. 8 times the amount of the cost of a senior citizen ticket, and 5 times the amount of a child ticket. What is the price of each? System of equations. Solve for one of our variables. So nothing divides nicely. All right, nothing divides evenly, so I'm just going to pick one. I'll pick this one. I'm going to solve for C. So this is going to be, I'm going to subtract 8s from both sides. So this is going to be 5c equals 67 minus 8s. And then I'm going to divide by 5. And then that's 67 over 5. And that's negative 8s over 5. Or, yeah. All right, so now I know what C is. So I'm going to plug this in over here, 3s plus 9 times, and this will be fun, 67 over 5 minus 8s over 5 equals 75. Lovely. Now this is 3s plus and 9 times 67 over 5. Hopefully this works out nicely. 9 times 67 divided by 5. That doesn't work out nicely. What to do? Well, that's a terminating decimal, so that's fine. 9 times 67 divided by 5 is 120.6. Oops, that's 75. 120.6. I wonder where this is going. This is odd. Huh. Okay. Then 9 times negative 8s divided by 5 equals negative 14.4s. And all of that equals $75. Combine your like terms. Negative 14.4 plus 3. So negative 14.4 plus 3 is going to give us negative 11.4 plus 120.6 equals $75. And then I'm going to subtract 120.6 from both sides. So 120.6 taken away from 75 is negative 45.6. Ooh, lovely. So that's negative 11.4 equals negative 45.6. I'm sorry, negative 11.4, that's an S. And then divide both sides by negative 11.4. And hopefully we get a nice answer. Oh, look at that. S equals 4. So the price of a senior ticket is $4. So now it should be pretty simple. 3 times 4 that gives us 12. We're going to subtract 12 from both sides, 75 minus 12, and then we're going to divide both sides by 9, and we get a child ticket. Oops, wrong color. Child ticket equals $7. And there we go. Nothing more to say about that. Number 6. Number 6, I like number 6 because it involves animals. We all like animals, yes? A farmhouse shelters 10 animals. How many animals? 10. Some are pigs and some are duckies. Altogether, there are 36 legs. How many of each animal are there? Well, how many animals are there total? 10 animals. How many legs are there? 36. So we got to write two equations. One's going to equal 10 animals, and one's going to equal 36 legs. So we're going to use P for pigs and D for ducks. Now we know the amount of pigs plus the amount of ducks equals 10 because there's 10 animals. So we know we have, we want to describe how many legs there are in terms of how many pigs and how many duckies. Well, we know that duckies have how many legs? 2 legs. We know that piggies have 4 legs. So 4 times the amount of piggies tells us how many legs there are on the piggies. And then 2 times the amount of duckies tells us how many legs are on the duckies. And if we multiply that by the, if we have a number of pigs and a number of ducks, that tells us how many legs we have, and we know we have 36 legs. So this should be easy. I'm going to use P. I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to go a little quickly because this video is getting long. P equals 10 minus D. I'm going to plug that in over here. So that's 4 times 10 minus D plus 2D equals 36. That's going to be 40 minus 4D plus 2D equals 36. Negative 4D plus 2D simplifies to negative 40 minus 2D equals 36. I'm going to subtract 40 from both sides, and that's going to give me 2D equals 36 minus, that's negative 4. And so D equals negative 4 divided by negative 2, which is positive 2. That gives us 2 duckies. Ducks equals 2, which means piggies equal 8. So we got 8 pigs, 2 ducks, 1 farm. All right, number 7. Write the equation for the line that passes through those 2 points and then find the x and y intercepts and graph the line. Okay, what do we have? We need to, in order to graph the line, we need, well, we first need to write the equation for the line. So we need a y, we need an x, we need an m, we need a b. What do we have and what can we find? We've got 2 points, so we can find m. M equals delta y over delta x, rise over run, which you remember is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Doesn't matter which point you choose. I'm going to choose this one. So negative 9.5 minus 1 over negative 11 minus 10 equals negative 10.5 over negative 21. And that simplifies to, if you put it in your calculator, divided by 21, it gives you 0.5, so this is positive 1/2. So what is our slope? Positive 1/2. Now we need to find b. If the equation for a line is y equals mx plus b, we need a value for m, a value for x, and a value for y. Well, we've got one. Here's a value for x, there's a value for y, and here's a value for m. So let's rewrite this as when y is 10, and the slope is 1/2, and x is, 1, what is b? 1 times 1/2, wait, this doesn't make sense. What did I do wrong here? I mixed up my x and my y. Lovely. All right, when y is 1, and the slope is 1/2, and our x is 10, what is b? Well, 1/2 times 10 is 5. 5 plus what is 1? b equals -4. So b equals -4. And now we have the equation of our line. Y equals m, which is 1/2, x, which we don't know, minus 4, or plus -4. And now we can begin to graph our line. The y-intercept is simple. The y-intercept is 0, -4. And our x-intercept, we'll find out in a second, 0, -4. And our x-intercept is the value of x when y is 0. If y is 0, we have 1/2 x minus 4. We're going to multiply both sides by, I'm sorry, no, we don't do that yet. Let's get rid of the -4. I guess we could have done that, but it doesn't matter. Let's add 4 to both sides, plus 4, 0 plus 4 gives us 4 equals 1/2 x. Multiply both sides by 2, gives us 8 equals x, so x equals 8. When x is 8, y is 0. And let's double check our work. 8 times 1/2 is 4, 4 minus 4 is 0. So now when x equals 8, y equals 0, so I guess that would be right over here somewhere. Okay, I guess we can just use our slope. Slope is 1/2. We go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, and sure enough, up 1 over 2. And so, and here we go down 1, back 2, down 1, back 2, down 1, back 2. And we can graph our line. And we're done.